Hey, this is Chris, Keeping It Real / CNO Construction. Had an unfortunate turn of events this week. I had a job lined up for me, a really good amount of money. I mean, something that would last several months for our budget. And so it's unfortunate I'm not going to be able to finish, but let me just tell you what happened. So there was a house up in, well, first of all, I was working on another job, and I got a call, and it was 434 area code. So, even though you can't really tell where people are from anymore by their phone number necessarily, I went ahead and called. They didn't leave a voicemail, and so I went ahead and called them back, and it was this guy. He wanted some work done on a house. And he said he wanted some drywall work done and some painting done. And so I said, okay, fine, we'll come look at it. And so Lee and I took a Saturday morning and made a date out of it. We went to a restaurant in Clarksville, but we went up there first. Took a look around. It was an older double wide, still in fairly good condition though on the outside, and in good condition on the inside. I mean, just needed some drywall work and a couple coats of paint. And then I was also going to do the floor, and so went ahead, worked up a quote for him and sent it to him, and got a response back like in about a day. He said, yeah, I'm interested in moving forward with this. So well, let me back up a little bit. It wasn't a formal quote. It was just like a general idea, like I told him how much it would be, but I didn't give a lot of detail about the exact work I was going to do. So he said he wanted to proceed, and so I sent him a formal quote, and I went, it was pretty detailed about what I was going to do, and of course then what I was not going to do. And so he said fine, and I gave him a date that I'd be there, and called him. It was last Monday, this past Monday, and so called him on Friday because I hadn't heard back, and he said, yeah, he'd like to proceed. And I said, great, I'll be there Monday morning. Well, I'm driving up there Monday morning. I'm about 10 minutes away from the house, and he calls and says, you on your way? I said, yeah. Be there in I was running about 5 minutes late. I said, I'm coming up 360 right now. And so we talked, and he said, okay, great, I'll have somebody over there to unlock the house. And then I said, you've got a check for me, right? He said, oh, I forgot all about that. And that was my first red flag, right? I should have just turned around right then and there and said, well, when you get a check, let me know. But the money was so good. Have we all been there? So I go the next day. I do work the first day. Didn't work a whole day, but worked most of a day. Just getting things kind of prepped up and everything. And so went in the second day, and the check was on the mantle as he had promised. And so I'm looking at the check. I'm saying, great. And then I look at it closely, and I realized he hadn't signed it. He had written what when you have a little memo space at the bottom left-hand corner of the check, what the check's for. He had written so much in the memo space, it had actually gone over well into the space where you sign it. And so I texted him. I said, I got a check, but it's not signed. And again, what I should have done is said, when you get me a signed check, I will, because I'm dumb, right? I mean, I'm usually not this dumb, but I was dumb that day. But I did decide that I wasn't going to do a whole lot of work. I was going to do some prep work, and then, in case it was a genuine lapse, I didn't want to make it seem like I was being petty, although it's not being petty to not start something if you haven't gotten paid yet. But still, I thought, well, I'll just, because it's a lot of money. And so I worked actually only like 2 or 3 hours, and I went home. said he would leave a signed check the next day. So he left. I got there the next day, and there was indeed a signed check. And here's a bunch of deer. Deer scare me with my brand new truck, because I don't have one of those big things on the front that would just, protect my truck. Anyway, so I got there, the check signed. I was going to try to mobile deposit it right there, but I didn't have a pen because I just don't have stuff in my truck yet. You know how you accumulate things in your truck, and one of those things would be a pen. But I don't have anything in here yet because I'm trying to keep it cleaned up. It's kind of weird, but and so I worked about a half a day that day just because I was tired, and just because no special reason. Didn't really. I had a check, right, and so now I felt comfortable. So I get home and I'm sitting there, and we got a new little tablet computer kind of thing, and I was working on that. And about 5 o'clock, she says, "Have you deposited that check yet?" I said, "No." Let me go ahead and do that. So I signed it. Did the mobile app. I love mobile apps to do check deposits. It's so much easier than having to go to a branch. And so, take the pictures, enter the information, submit, get a message. This check is not eligible for mobile deposit. Well, and it doesn't give a reason why. It just says it's not eligible. So it's like, I don't even know what that means. Then I look carefully at the back of the check, and it says, check this box if it's a mobile deposit, and then write the name of the bank in the line underneath. I said, okay, fine. I screwed up. Let me check this box, and I'll write, the name of my bank underneath there in the line provided. Go back through, take the pictures. This check is not eligible for mobile deposit. Now I'm getting a little bit concerned, but then again, I think, well, I don't know. There could be any number of reasons why, my mobile app would say that. They said, what you need to do, the app said, what you need to do is visit a banking center and deposit the check. Fortunately, when they say banking center, they don't necessarily mean a physical branch. They mean any of their ATMs are fine too. So there's an ATM in Henderson. So I go over there and try to deposit. Long story short, it doesn't take it. And it says, has this message, it's kind of cryptic, it says, refer to maker. And by now I'm understanding that this is not a good check at all. And so I'm kind of irritated. Actually, I'm more than just a little irritated. And I'm not irritated so much. I'm more irritated at the fact that I'm watching all that money evaporate before my eyes. I'm irritated that the guy wrote me a bad check, but even more importantly, that I'm looking down the road now. I'm like, now I'm going to, because one of the things about having that much money on a job is you don't have to go out and look for work. You just go to work every day for an extended period of time. I thought this job was going to take 6 weeks. And now all of a sudden, now I've got to start scrambling again to find work. And it's not going to be, there's irons in the fire, but nothing's been agreed to. Because I've been kind of putting everybody off because I had this big job, and I was always honest with everybody. But so anyway, I did not call him, and I probably won't call him. I'm going to let him call me, and then explain why I'm not there, because I went up there this morning and got all my stuff, because I'd left some paint up there, had some primer, 5-gallon bucket of primer, which is only about half used. Left some hand tools up there. I didn't leave my power tools up there, but I left some hand tools. I thought, well, we need to go take care of that. And so here we are, Thursday morning, and I was really depressed last night. And then I got up this morning and said, well, let's just go. And I do have a very promising prospect that I completely forgotten about, and I remembered it on the way up there. So I'm actually in a much better mood now than I was before. It's like before it was I was very sad. It really was, because I like to trust people. That's my default setting, is to trust them. But this guy has proved, it's not like 3 strikes you're out, dude. You know, first you didn't have the check, second you didn't sign a check, third you wrote me a bad check, and after all that, no, I am fortunate, extremely fortunate that he has the account that he wrote that check on is at the same financial institution that I'm at. Otherwise, I would have deposited the check and done a couple more days work, and then it would have come back, and then I would have been charged a fee. So there is a silver lining to all this. And of course, the other silver lining is like, well, from now on, I'm just going to have to be a bit more of a hard ass about these things, I guess, right? But this is the first time in 2 years I've had any trouble with anybody paying me for anything. But it only takes one. It only takes one jerk to screw everything up for everybody else. Although it's not really screwing it up. I mean, I think it's reasonable to ask for a deposit. So anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking with it. I know I rambled on quite a bit, but I just wanted to give you the full impact of what I've been through the last 3 days. Any questions or comments, leave them in the section below. Like and subscribe. I'm going to get through this. See you on the next video.